Ren, Money Game. Is it any good? All right, guys, we're back with some Ren, and I'm very, very excited to see this because from what you guys have told me, the whole situation with Cujo Beats and after watching Cujo Beatdown, which if you are a subscriber or somebody here who would love to support me and become a channel member, my reaction to Cujo Beatdown is right over here. That whole situation was so messy. And apparently, prior to that situation, another artist got duped as well. And Money Game is a collaboration that Ren has done with this other artist to create something new, to maybe, I guess, throw shots at Cujo Beats again. Who knows? I forget exactly. My memory is terrible. But, anyways, we're going to get in there, guys. I'm excited. Let's do it.
It's a strange time we're living in. War can put fear in. Hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament interiors. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theory, strife, fearing, weary-minded men. When we're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose who's fooling who. A pull chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. The pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets this whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. But money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer. His finger on the trigger of a money game. Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but
And those who rise through distorted lies. Man, he was talking about how there's a hierarchy of power that tries to keep themselves, the people that are up top try to stay up top, the people down below, well, they try to keep them there. And anything they can do, as terrible as it may be, as underhanded as it may be, they're going to do it to protect themselves and to protect their status, to protect their place in the hierarchy. And this is something that you saw happen. And even people who may not be that high in the hierarchy, if they're higher than somebody else, and they could take advantage to maybe elevate themselves, they're going to do it at the expense of the people below them. This is what happened with Cujo Beats and how he basically, it appears, okay, allegedly, it appears that he put Ren through the ringer, and yeah, it was not okay. It was not okay. But yeah, he's basically talking about all the BS that could happen, and I'm assuming that the person that's got the white, I guess, covering over their head, is the other artist playing the guitar. But I wouldn't be surprised if he did like some you know, cool visual effect thing and spun the camera around with a pan zoom or a cut, and it's then Ren playing the guitar. Or it could just be, Cujo from the last video that I saw, Cujo Beats. They're the person portraying Cujo Beats anyways.
rain,
So many
rain,
different
rain,
things.
rain. A storm it comes our way. And those who rise through distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we like to point the blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Stop.
This is crazy, man.
This old money game.
Oh no.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate, when they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in this.
Ooh, great camera work right there. He's hopping to one side, but whoever's controlling the camera is ducking this way while Ren is moving this way, and is causing like a dope depth of field effect. That's cool.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas to keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets, they say proudly through gritted teeth, that's my right to hate, that's freedom of speech.
Mm.
But when did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, cause us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value.
I mean, he's spitting right now. He's spitting.
West, we have pillaged and plundered the murder like savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourself.
It's one thing I never understood, man. How could you possibly be prejudiced, racist towards anybody? How could you possibly have hatred towards a certain group of people or paint a whole entire group of people in a negative light when all it takes is for you to hold up a mirror? Like I always say, like nobody's perfect. We're all human, right? Nobody's perfect. And instead of you trying to look at negatives in somebody or a group of people, or trying to distort what may not even be negatives to be negatives, or what you perceive to be negatives, why don't you just try to look at the positive? It's good to look at both, but why don't we just celebrate one another and our differences? I, I never understood. Like me personally, if I don't understand something about a certain culture, I'm like, hey, not, okay, I may be ignorant. Hey, this might be an ignorant thing to ask, but I mean, if we're talking about culture and whatnot while you're here, what's up with this? What's up with that? Like, and I'm always like so open minded, and I feel like we should all be open minded to kind of accept the good and the bad that come with different cultures, but seriously to appreciate the good, because nobody really remembers the good, and everybody just looks at a group of people and wants to paint them with a terrible, I don't know, just paint them terribly.
The
I don't
murder
like
like
it.
savages, colonized all of the rest. That's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames. You denigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause
See what I'm saying? He's spitting, bro. We're all the same. We've all, we're all human beings, and you want to point fingers at a certain group of people and talk about how negative they are. Point the mirror back at yourself. You may have tried to rinse your hands of the disgusting, dirty history, but we ain't all perfect. He is spitting, man.
in a second, still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're the immigrant. Cause all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent. I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. And also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we made the same mistakes all again.
Bro, I was just about to say that, bro. It's so funny growing up, man, and I know I can't be the only one. I'm sure some of you might have felt the same way, but like, especially when I was learning about like a lot of atrocities that were going on, and since we're speaking about the Germans, we can all think of a certain atrocity that happened, right? I always wondered, how could people fall in line with such, I don't know, repulsive, evil behavior? And I'm not talking about the people who did it, partook, or turned a blind eye, or didn't really do much to help out of fear for their own safety or their loved one's safety. I'm not talking about necessarily that. Um, I'm talking about the people who heard that and were like, "Oh hell yeah," like yeah, let's do this. Let's go attack this group of people. Let us dang near do some like a cultural genocide, basically. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, why would we? I just never understood why we would ever say yes to something like that. I'm talking about as like people, right? And as I grow older, man, I just see a lot of just ignorance and just people just let hate hatred like just consume them and steer them on a bad path because everybody just wants to point the finger. He's talking about the money game. No, it might be the money game, but at the core of it, everybody wants to play the blame game. and they never want to blame themselves. And that's the problem. Anyways,
Our people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we make the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole.
if we do not learn from our history and our mistakes, we're doomed to repeat it.
Shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we make the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat, the same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions aren't our own, and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep. Rain, 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 rain.
There's no left or right. In the middle we sleep. That's the damn truth. And it's a shame.
Poison in the veins, but we'd like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
I noticed that, by the way. I'm sure you guys probably noticed that. I'm thinking that he put the gloves on and then grabbed the bat and took the gloves off because maybe he was contemplating bashing that person's head in right there. Didn't want to leave any prints and then decided, you know what? Nah, let me not do this. I got something else in mind. A little detail that maybe I'm reading that wrong, but that's how I'm perceiving it right now, anyways.
Money game. This old money game.
Ah, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. What are you gonna do, man? Took the mic off too? On yourself is crazy. I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what happened, and we're going to talk about it. So, like I said, I'm going to get into my thoughts, but if you made it this far, if you liked the video, give it a like. It'd mean a lot. And if you're somebody who's been here around a lot, you like my videos, you like my stuff, all I would ask is that you become a channel member and join a few other people who helped me out, man. They really changed my life. So, yeah, they're helping me make my dream come true. But anyways, let's talk about it. At the end there, when Ren was gonna pour, so I thought he was going to not only pour the gasoline on that person, but because their face was already covered, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was gonna turn into some torturous waterboarding with gasoline and then letting them on fire sort of situation. Wouldn't be surprised. That would have been a wild, wild visual. But what happened was that I think in a moment of like lucidity from all the anger and the rage and the feeling of betrayal, it took a second right before he did it and noticed, what the hell am I doing? took a look at the person in the chair crying, whimpering, being bound and held against their will, and was like, oh man, I have become the monster. I have become what I hate the most. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna use this on myself. And that's what happened. Um, you could tell me if your interpretation is different than mine, but that's my interpretation. Um, and yeah, this song was just it was real, man. It touched on a lot of the nonsense that just the prejudice and the indifference, the straight apathy that you can have for somebody or a group of people, and how easily you can be swayed to be so apathetic just because somebody put the idea in your head that these people are bad people or this group of people did this sort of thing. Don't trust these people. And you don't even have any frame of reference to go off of to say whether or not that's an accurate thing to believe. Or not even to believe, because belief is to be convinced of something. So you're not even necessarily convinced of it. You're just taking somebody's word for it in that way. And unfortunately, you don't even try to take the time to get to know these people for yourself, get to know these issues for yourself. You just immediately want to cast blame. I think, unfortunately, this is going to be a tale as old as time, because it's something that's currently going on, and it's something that will continue to go on, unfortunately. And I hate to be so, like, what's the word? Uh, 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 Pessimistic, but I don't know, man. I like to try to be the change that I want to see in people, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys watching want to do the same. But there's just so much negativity out there, man. So much ignorance. And I would like to think, I would really like to think that maybe there'll be a great change that'll be had during our lifetimes. But the track record ain't looking too good, man. But I know that I'm doing my part. I know a lot of you try to do your part. But just try to be the change you want to see in the world. Try to bring positivity to people. Try to lift people up. It's the least that we could try to do. It's at least it's what's within our power anyway. And not just lift other people up, but like lift ourselves up as well. You know, make sure that we all know that like we're worth it. We're worth the shot. We're worth a chance. We're worth a second chance. Because there's a lot of good that can be done, but unfortunately, so many people take the easy way out. And don't get me wrong, I'm as ignorant as they come. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know everything. I'm not certain of anything. But what I can tell you is that I don't let my ignorance steer me down the path of irrationally hating a group of people, or being prejudiced towards a group of people, or believing that I'm superior to somebody else that I don't even know, you know? Um, but again, maybe that's what the top dogs in the hierarchy want, right? They want us divided so that we can never unite. Food for thought, man. It's just, something that I always think about. I feel like there's so many things out there that separate us as a people, and keep us from looking out for one another. And it's tragic, man. Human nature could be such a beautiful thing and also such a terrible thing at the same time. But anyways, this was an amazing video. Sorry to get all like deep on you there, but hey, I guess that's what y'all come by for, right? At least you're gonna get that sort of stuff from me every now and then, right? But great music video, of course. Ren hitting those notes with a really powerful message in the song. Powerful visuals. It was simple, but it wasn't. There's little things like I said, um, especially what I can think of, and I probably missed some more. But the whole thing with the gloves, and now I'm really seeing that as he was planning on bashing the person's head in, didn't end up doing it. I think at the beginning of the video, he have like maybe I'm misremembering, but I could have sworn he had another type of like instrument or weapon that he was going to use to harm the person and decided not to. So I think that was like his like the part of him that he just was consistently so angry and he was going to hurt the person, but then took a step back and then wanted to hurt the person again and took a step back again. But still, when he took a step back, he took like 2 steps forward or a step and a half forward, if that makes sense. And then at the end, he finally, like I said, had that moment of lucidity and was like, "Oh hell no, I am not going to become this person. I would rather, I'd rather take myself up out of here than do that." Which I don't condone that either. But um, that's the message. That's just what I see portrayed. Anyways, um, yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Like I said, if you made it this far, leave a like. Just viewing my stuff, making it this far really means a lot. But like I said, if you do want to go that extra mile, uh, you know, subscribe or become a channel member, like that truly would mean everything. But again, thank you. Just thank you for your time. Anyways, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.